Hey guys, we are back. We're going to be talking sheep again today. We got a lot of new additions to talk about. So let's start out with the little ones. I don't know if you remember the picture in the last video I had of her. She was a little fatter at that time. We were just trying to discuss how many she was going to have, 1, 2, or 3. And as you can see, we had twins. We'll get over so you can get a little closer to them. They are both little girls. They are now about 3 days old. I believe that's right. Yeah, 3 days old. Tell you what, you got one looks just like mom. The other one's going to look a little bit like dad. We're going to assume it looks like dad. I haven't seen that one. I technically have a feeling she might have been bred to a Texas doll, which is all white. And the Texas doll, when crossed, sometimes can give you that tan color like that with the light colored face. They'll call those a desert sand. They actually have a registry for them. So in light of that, I'm going to call her Sandy. Now the little one with the black markings, I need a name for that. So anybody got any ideas, put it down in the comments. We're always looking for names for the little ones as we get those. So while we're at with these two, we're going to discuss something a little bit. Now I got a hold of them. I came down here in the morning. They were just a few hours old when I got them. I was able to pick them up and check them over good and seeing if we had boys or girls. But this sheep, the black bellies, the Corsicans, the Mouflons, they're a little bit different than some of your more domestic sheep. I'll tell you, a lot of times these sheep act more like deer sometimes than they do act like sheep. They'll take off. My house is 50 yards from the gate over here. Literally, I've got 2 ewes over there. You can see them heading out now. I got 2 of those. When I step out my back door, they literally get up and start moving. Just as I walk out the door, they're heading out to pasture. When I feed grain in the evening, because I like to give them a little bit of corn just to get them to come in, I got 2 or 3 will not come in until I actually leave the pen. Then they'll go ahead and come in and get their corn. So they're spooky, they're flighty. That's just the nature of the sheep. They are a lot closer to being a wild sheep, so they're still going to act that way. That's the difference sometimes between these and your more domesticated wool sheep. Now, what does that mean when we're getting little guys? If you don't get them in the first couple hours, you're probably not going to. You could probably chase them around and catch them. You don't want to do that, it's going to hurt. If mom's got a problem, that's the way it's going to go. You can't get near her. Or you could catch her and go through stuff, but what you'd put her through trying to catch her. And if somebody's not nursing, if somebody can't get up and somebody can't nurse, you know, I've seen, like, my daughter has her goats, fine, you get one in, or a domestic, you get them in a spot, and you can hold that lamb up and help it nurse. It's not going to be as easy to do with these. These sheep are fairly wild. They're not going to let you near. By the time you did get a hold of her, she'd be so tensed up she probably wouldn't put down any milk anyway. So they are kind of in a situation, they got to fend for themselves. So when you're getting lambs there, they're just going to have to kind of fend for themselves, and that's the way it's going to work. So you're going to lose some. That's part of it. Fortunately, they're good mothers. They easy giving birth and this and that. So usually you shouldn't have too many problems with them. That's our first dish. We got those 2. Again, remember, got a little one back there, could use a name. And I got some new ones over here in the next door pen. We're getting ready. In a few days, we're going to put these guys together. But let's go over this way, and I'll show you the Mouflons. And let me get turned around a little bit. There's Max. Max is going to be the sire for my flock. And over here I have 4 Mouflon ewes. And way in the back towards there is about a 3-week-old lamb. And that's a ram. So we'll hopefully see if he'll stick around and be my ram down the line. The 2 ewes standing towards the back with the little one back there are both bred. So hopefully sometime this month, in October here, we should have 2 little ones yet. And the smallest one over there is just not quite a year old, but getting close for breeding age and stuff like that. Brought those 5 in. We will take these 5 where they're sitting here now. I've had them in here for, I've been here about 4 or 5 days. I was almost going to move them over with these 2 gals, but I kind of changed my mind, and I did that because the next 2 days it's going to be raining pretty steady. So I thought, I'm going to leave these guys out. I don't want these little ones to be fighting for room inside a building here. And let me turn around real quick. So there's the run-in sheds I built. So they're going in here, and I thought, I don't want everybody together and have that ram and all those other sheep where these little ones are. So for 2 more days, they're going to stay here on their own. And then when that's done, probably about Thursday or so, I will take, today is Monday, so on Thursday, I will open the gate, put the Mouflons in with these 2, I guess 4, right? Anyway, they'll all go together, and they'll stay that way for probably about another week. And at that point in time, everything out there has to come in. Out in the pasture are my black bellies, and along with that is my son-in-law's Texas doll ewe, and he's got a couple paint ewes, and he's got a couple Corsicans out there. So we're going to bring them all in. They all get sorted. All of his 5 ewes that are out there will all come in, and they're going to end up in this pen with these gals all over here. And then he is going to Kansas in 2 weeks to bring back another ram, and he'll put that in with them. His Texas doll will head up by his house, because this weekend he's picking up 4 more Texas doll ewes. They'll be up there. He has his Texas doll ram. He'll put all them in. So probably in about 2 or 3 weeks, everybody gets sorted out. Everybody gets into pens and set up with rams. So that's the way everything will get set here in a few weeks. So. And we got you ready. I mean, we're technically getting closer to winter anyway, but we're putting the rams in around the 15th of October, which means in 5 months, we could start looking for the first lambs from this breeding. Now, I still got 2 over here to have lambs, and I got 1 out there, and I don't know, I keep looking at her, and either she's eating good, or we do have a possibility out there by November. I got 1 out there could still have some lambs too. So anyway, that'll keep us moving for a while and keep us busy. But I wanted to get a shot, show you the new additions, show you the 2 little guys, I guess little girls, and the new Mouflons, and get a chance to see Max, our flock sire, so to speak. Now Max is, let's see, Max will be 3 years old next spring, so he's just a little over 2 right now. I got a picture, I think I can put it up here. I'll try to put a picture up, I got it, I think I do, of his sire, and I think a brother of his, because when I got him, there were, he had probably 12 or 14 ewes and 4 rams. And actually, Max there is probably about tied for the smaller of the rams, because he's the youngest, being only 2. The other rams were older, 5 years old, and then the big main breeding ram in that pen, he's pretty good size. So if Max grows up like him, I'll be happy. And a buddy in there grows up like both of them, I'll be really happy. I'll be very happy with that. The Mouflons are a little bit different than the black bellies. I don't think, these haven't been quite as skittish, I don't think, as I've seen. But they're still, they're still wild sheep. They act like wild sheep. He treated them like they were wild. He said, they are wild, that's the way I'm going to treat them. And that's pretty much the way it went. They all went together. I'm going to do things just a little bit different than that. I'm going to put my rams in here in October, and I'm going to leave them that way, and then my rams will stay in until about March. And let me get the sun right so you're not staring at the sun. I'll put these rams in now, and October I'll keep them until about March. In March we should be starting to see lambs. Then I'm going to pull my ram out and leave them out. So what that's going to leave me for, I will leave me with lambs in the spring up through early summer. They get weaned off, and then the ram goes in again the next fall. In this guy's case, and be honest with you, in all the cases of the sheep I bought, those people they let them run. The ram stayed year round. They didn't do anything. They bred when they bred. The black belly ewes can come into season every 17 days. So as soon as they have a lamb, 17 days later, they're starting to come in season again. They can be bred again and going again. So most of those people, with the people I've talked to with the black bellies, figure they can get lamb twice a year. So they're actually getting 4 lambings over a 2-year period of time. The guys with the Mouflon told me he kind of figures he gets 3 lambings over 2 years. So he'll get 1 extra lamb over a 2-year period of time. Now in my case, I'm just gonna go for 1 lamb a year. We're gonna put that him in the fall, we're gonna bring him out in the spring, we're gonna get 1 lamb, whether we get singles or twins. The black bellies are pretty good about twins, even triplets. Mouflons, not so much. Now it's usually singles. Every once in a while you're gonna get twins, but not too often. All right, hey, that's what we're gonna do. Hey, the one with the little black markings now, I still need a name. Anybody want to give me a name for that one? Leave it down in the comments, all right? That's all we're gonna do for this one. We got some other stuff. One of these days, I'm gonna come up and show you how I built these or what those. You can see it looks a little different in there. I'll show you how I did that. I built some feeders the other day. I gotta do a video on the feeders. So got a lot of sheep stuff's gonna be coming up. Thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe to the channel if you would. Hope to see you again real soon.